everyone. We're going to get started in just a minute. We're going to continue to let people join us as more folks are being let in from the waiting room. So we'll get started in just a moment here. Excellent. It looks like we have everyone in. So welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Amy Muirs. I'm the CEO of the National Youth Leadership Council. And joining me are two members of our Youth Advisory Council, Catherine Nguyen and Matthew Lee. Also joining us is Miranda Taylor, NYLC's Director of Communications and External Relations. So before we begin, I'd like to invite you to consider this question. What does it truly mean to empower young people, not just to participate, but to lead, to shape the future, and to drive change with their voices and vision? As we gather today, NYLC is standing on the shoulders of over 40 years of dedication to youth leadership and service learning. Our journey has been an incredible one, shaped by each of you, by countless young leaders, educators, community leaders, and by the mission that has grown and evolved over time. In recent months, NYLC has engaged in deep conversations with our community, gathering insights from both those who know us best and those who are new to us. These discussions have shaped an exciting new direction that stays true to our history, but also looks ahead to what young people need most from us today. We're thrilled to take you on this journey as we explore how we're evolving to meet the needs of young people as leaders and change makers. By the end, we hope that each of you feels inspired and energized to share this vision and bring it to life with us. For over 4 decades, NYLC has stood as the leading expert in service learning in the United States, empowering young people both across the country and around the globe. Through transformative, hands-on experiences in schools, after-school programs, and community initiatives, we've enabled students to grow as leaders and active citizens. Starting with youth leadership camps that brought young people from diverse backgrounds together for leadership training and community action, NYLC evolved to become the training and technical assistance provider to Learn and Serve America, the federally run nationwide service learning program. We published the K-12 service learning standards for quality practice, and for the past 10 years, we've supported state after-school networks to expand service learning opportunities in summer and after-school programs. Most recently, we launched our signature youth leadership program, Youth as Solutions, supporting teams of young people across the country in tackling local issues. With the dedicated support of educators, parents, and mentors, NYLC has helped generations of young people connect learning to real-world impact. What our experience has shown us is that service learning truly works. It transforms students, schools, and communities. This pedagogical approach engages students from the investigation phase to demonstration, immersing them in hands-on learning that allows them to amplify their voices and strengthen their leadership and civic skills. The research underscores this impact. Service learning not only boosts student engagement, but also fosters essential skills like social emotional learning, critical problem solving, and active civic responsibility. Through service learning, students are introduced to diverse career paths, empowered to see themselves as change makers. And since our founding in 1983, we have proudly supported generations of young people, helping them learn and engage in ways that truly matter. At the same time, we have witnessed rapid and remarkable changes in how young people engage with their communities. The rise of the internet and social media has provided them with unprecedented platforms to share their voices, mobilize for causes, and drive meaningful change on the local and global scale. Beyond the digital sphere, young people are stepping up in ways by embracing volunteerism, advocacy, and intergenerational collaboration, taking active roles in addressing local issues. This growing wave of youth-led action has shown us the immense potential of today's young people and the critical role of organizations like NYLC in empowering them to make an even greater impact. With decades of experience and a record of success in service learning, NYLC is ready to embrace a new era that reflects our commitment to evolving with the young people that we serve. So after months of thoughtful discussions, we have forged an inspiring path forward. This journey has been shaped by the valuable insights of those who have supported us, allowing us to build on our strength and legacy while moving boldly toward the future. This path reinforces our core strengths and challenges us to reach new heights. Today, we are thrilled to announce NYLC is expanding our mission and vision. Service learning continues to be at the heart of what we do to empower young people to create meaningful change. Looking ahead, we are elevating it alongside two pillars that will shape our organization for generations to come: youth leadership and youth voice. While the formal naming of these pillars are new to NYLC, the actions behind them are not. Since our inception, we have focused on developing young people's leadership skills and encouraging them to use their voices to drive change. By naming them as pillars of our work, we are deepening our commitment to empowering young people as change makers and ensuring their voices lead the way in building a stronger future for us all. Through youth leadership and voice, we will empower young people to serve, lead, and generate positive change both in the classroom and beyond. This expansion reflects our unwavering commitment to providing today's youth with the opportunities they need to engage as leaders and change makers, because we recognize the future of leadership starts here. As we move forward with this expansion, we want to dive into what youth leadership and youth voice mean to NYLC and how it will shape our work. These two pillars, while closely intertwined with service learning, bring unique strengths and opportunities to deepen our impact. So Catherine is going to provide a deeper look at the pillar of youth leadership first. Catherine?
Thank you. So, why youth leadership? At a time when trust in leaders has reached historic lows, with 86% of American respondents to a 2023 US News Harris poll saying they are largely disappointed by leaders in society, there is a critical need to focus on a cultivating generation of leaders committed to integrity, empathy, and a spirit of contribution. We know that leadership isn't an inherent trait. Rather, it's a skill cultivated through service, contribution, learning, civic engagement, and sharing one's voice. At NYLC, we believe in fostering values like integrity, empathy, and a commitment to civic responsibility to empower young people to not just be active participants in their communities, but also capable leaders who are equipped to address complex social issues from a holistic approach. And why these values specifically? Well, integrity is crucial for effective leadership, as it fosters credibility and respect among peers and community members. Young leaders must learn to align their actions with their values and principles, standing firm in their beliefs even when faced with adversity. Empathy is a vital leadership quality that enables young people to connect with others on a deeper level. Empathetic leaders are more likely to inspire collaboration, foster inclusivity, and create environments where everyone feels valued and heard. And a focus on contribution emphasizes the importance of service and leadership. We want young people to recognize that true leadership involves not just personal success, but also a commitment to uplifting others. This work not only enhances the individual growth of young people, but it also strengthens the fabric of our society, paving the way for a more just, sustainable, and peaceful world. Next, let's dive into youth voice with Matthew.
Right. Thank you. So, why youth voice? Well, elevating the voices of young people is crucial in ensuring that they are not only heard, but actively engaged in decision-making processes. According to a 2018 study by the Center for Information and Research for Civic Learning and Engagement, also known as CIRCLE, only 28% of young people believe they have a say in what the government does. This statistic underscores the historic marginalization of youth perspectives, leading to policies and decisions that often fail to address their unique needs and aspirations. By prioritizing youth voice, we will create robust pathways for young people to express their opinions, share lived experiences, and directly influence policies that impact their lives. Empowering young people to share their voices fosters a sense of ownership and pride in their communities, ultimately contributing to community resilience and sustainability. Research published in the Journal of Community Psychology in 2019 indicates that youth civic engagement is positively associated with both individual well-being and community vitality. By creating a shared space for youth to use their voices, we are no longer doing to youth, but rather working in partnerships with youth. This is a win-win as young people, like me, use their voice and thus develop sense of pride in their communities, while those in communities in turn benefit from fresh perspectives.
Thank you, Catherine and Matthew, for sharing our vision for youth leadership and youth voice in our work. Looking to the future, we recognize that preparing young leaders is not only vital for their growth, but also for the lasting benefit of society as a whole. By expanding our focus to emphasize youth leadership and voice alongside service learning, we will cultivate a generation of engaged individuals capable of effectively affecting meaningful and positive change now and throughout their lifetimes. With all of this being said, we're excited to unveil our new expanded mission and vision statements with you today. So, moving forward, NYLC's new mission is to equip young people with the knowledge, skills, and confidence, amplifying youth voice to co-create a more just, sustainable, and peaceful world. And we envision a world where every young person engages in social action and is recognized as essential to civic society. This mission and vision push NYLC into a new era while doing what we've always done best, equipping young people with the skills to develop as active leaders who engage in their communities and use their voice to drive meaningful change. This is the work we have done for over 4 decades, and we are excited to finally name the strategic reimagining of who we are.
So we would love to take a moment to share a video with you that highlights how NYLC has been at the forefront of youth leadership. Let's listen to Molly's story.
My name is Molly Mathis. I'm from Wilmington, North Carolina, and I was on the Youth Advisory Council for NYLC for 2 years, and this year I've stepped into being a youth mentor for the Youth Advisory Council. I'm here today to talk about how NYLC has empowered me as a young leader and encouraged me to be civically active and engaged not only in their space, but my communities back at home as well. One of the best parts about being on the Youth Advisory Council and just being a part of NYLC in general is how valued my perspective has been. I had never worked with adults collaboratively in a professional space before I joined, and I have always felt like my ideas were extremely valued. Everything that I said was taken into consideration. Everyone valued what I had to say, and I think it's been an invaluable experience to learn how to talk and work with adults.
Molly's story helps to illustrate the impact that NYLC's work has had on the lives of young people. As we look at how we plan to bring NYLC's new vision and mission to life, we are thrilled to unveil our reimagined strategic priorities for the next 3 years. Each priority reflects our commitment to creating meaningful impact and our resolve to ensure NYLC is positioned as a leader in the youth development field. Here you'll see just a few of the high-level pullouts from our new strategic framework. Each pillar of our work is supported by several strategies that intertwine in many ways, ensuring that we are taking a holistic approach to meeting our new mission and vision. So for youth leadership, we are looking at increasing pathways for youth to participate in NYLC, including the number of teams we engage in our flagship program, Youth as Solutions, and the experience of young people on our Youth Advisory Council, like Matthew and Catherine with us today. We'll also be enhancing the work we do with organizations, schools, and after-school programs in this area. Under our service learning pillar, we will undertake the process of updating the K-12 service learning standards for quality practice, standards that are recognized across the globe as essential steps to planning a quality service learning experience for young people. We also seek to build new partnerships and a community of emerging leaders in the field to drive this work forward, all while actively engaging young people in the process. Finally, we plan to increase the visibility and influence of youth voice nationwide, bringing their perspectives to the forefront of creating more just and sustainable communities. We'll be tackling professional development for youth councils while also advocating for new pathways for young people to become agents of change. We'd love to share one more youth video example with you that touches on how we support young people throughout their leadership journey. Let's listen to Michelle's story next.
Hi everyone, my name is Michelle Song and I was a Youth Advisory Council member from 2021 to 2023 at NYLC. This organization has provided amazing support in using my voice to improve education equity and youth mentorship within my community. They introduced opportunities to co-lead workshops, encouraged me to speak in front of hundreds of people, and truly explore my leadership strengths outside of an academic perspective. With the leadership skills I learned through this organization, I led an initiative that donated fresh produce to my hometown and advocated for youth voices in environmental sustainability. I'm currently in a program at my university where I continue to utilize my public speaking, leadership, and collaboration experiences from NYLC. For me, youth voice is when young people take a stand and effectively change their communities for the better. NYLC helped me embody these values by providing great cross-generational support and improving the active listening skills and teamwork skills that were instrumental to my youth leadership and youth voice development.
I want to give a warm thank you to Michelle and Molly for sharing their videos with us today. And I want to extend a heartfelt invitation to each of you as a crucial member of our story, our work, and our organization. Many of you have been with us for decades, supporting our journey and partnering with us in essential moments to elevate the voices of young people. Others of you are newer to NYLC. Wherever you are in your journey with us, we invite you to come along on this exciting new chapter.
When we say the future of leadership starts here, we're not just referring to the benefit of young people. We're talking about the future of our society as a whole. Our comprehensive leadership development bridges intergenerational gaps, creating a culture of respect that values the unique insights of young people. This approach not only enriches the lives of young people, but strengthens the communities they live in, ensuring that we build a better world together.
And there are so many ways you can support NYLC, our renewed mission and vision, and young people across the country. So here's a few ideas and ways you can get involved. You can shape the future of leadership by donating today. I'm sure you're tired of hearing these donation calls, but your support will allow us to reach even more young people who are ready to co-create a more just, sustainable, and peaceful world. Or you might consider joining us, me and Catherine, Amy, at our 36th annual National Service Learning Conference, happening March 26th to 28th in St. Paul, Minnesota. This is a great way to gain the tools, insights, and connections you need to turn intention into action, making an impact in your community and advance equity in everything you do. Another way to stay connected is by signing up for The Leader, our monthly newsletter. It's packed with resources and opportunities to help you elevate youth voice, equip young leaders, and drive meaningful change in communities. If you prefer to listen and get inspired, tune in to the Power of Young People, NYLC's podcast. You'll hear some incredible stories from young change makers around the world who are making a difference in their schools and communities. And of course, you get to hear Amy. Always a plus. And of course, you can always follow us on social media to stay up to date on all our upcoming programs and events. So no matter how you choose to engage, your support helps empower the next generation of leaders.
So before we close, thank you, Matthew, for that. Lots of great ways to engage with NYLC. But before we close, it's really an honor and privilege to introduce you to our founder, Dr. James Kilsmeyer. He is a mentor and a great supporter for me personally. He's also a lifelong champion of youth leadership, service learning, and civic engagement. Jim has dedicated his life to empowering young people to be change makers in their communities and beyond. And it's his pioneering work that shaped the National Service Learning Movement, inspiring generations of educators and students to lead with purpose and serve with heart. So, Jim, I would love to invite you to share any remarks that you would like with our attendees today. Oh, Jim, you need to unmute. We can't hear you.
How's that?
There we go.
Sorry. Sometimes it's harder for us older folks to catch up on things like getting it right on the computer. Anyway, I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to see that this is a continuum of the work that's been started a long time ago, which was then fairly novel. The idea that young people are assets and resources that need to be developed and not necessarily problems to be fixed. That's the big go-to understanding that started NYLC in the first place. And if we had time to have a cup of coffee and talk through a few examples, I would have a number of them for you. What's important today, I think, now is focus in terms of what NYLC is going to be doing. And in Amy's presentation, she's already started the focus idea. And the reason for greater focus, greater leadership around these issues is that this is not just about young people themselves. It's about the nation state. It's about the world community. All of which need what young people have to offer. I don't have to go through the litany of issues that trouble the world community, perhaps your own community, but those issues are not necessarily something that are distant to all of us. We know that there's concern and a need to be active with regard to the relationships between people across races, across nationalities, and across continents. You might be interested in knowing that there is a comparable group of people knitted together around the idea of service learning that started with a gathering like this, meeting right now in Buenos Aires and others and other parts of Latin America and Europe, most Eastern Europe, Northern Europe, Southern Europe, that cite and respond to what goes on in Minnesota and goes on in your backyard, essentially. So we are there to keep that idea of youth as assets and as resources alive, not by just talking about it, getting on a screen and pontificating like I'm doing, but it's about rolling up our sleeves and looking at the world and saying, where do I fit in? Not just to fit in as a participant in the world, but how can I participate further as a leader and contributor? That's what the expectation is for you and for your colleagues who will join you shortly as you gather at the National Service Learning Conference. All the best.
Thank you, Jim. Thanks for just your vision and leadership and your dedication to not only service learning, but young people. You truly do still impact the work that we do every day. So to each of you, I want to say thank you for taking your time with us today, for sharing your commitment to empowering the next generation of leaders. Together, we are shaping a future where young people lead with purpose and make a lasting impact. Thank you for joining us and for supporting the future of leadership. Take care.